Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. We are meeting on a review show after a long time. So welcome back to those of you who haven't been on this channel for a while. And I hope all of you are staying safe. In this episode, we're going to be talking about J.J. Frederick's Ponmagal Vandhal, which stars Jyotika as a lawyer named Venba. Now, she has a personal mission. She digs up a case that has gone cold for some 15 years. I mean, it was solved 15 years ago, but there's something fishy about it. So she starts digging into it again. And the rest of the film is about what happens to the case and whether she wins or not, which I think is a fairly obvious conclusion. But what is interesting about the film is what the case is about and what the issue is about. The case is about a serial killer, a female serial killer, and at first I was like, wow, this is a really different zone for Jyotika. But then it turns out to be a fairly typical Jyotika movie in the sense that it is about an issue that is good in itself. It's a very, very important issue to talk about child sexual abuse, about how that trauma stays with you and never goes away however old you get. So that's what the issue is about. And you kind of can say that you moved on and you put it behind you or something like that. But when this person says they still have nightmares from what happened, you really know what it's kind of like, even though you don't know the exact same thing. But when you say that this person is waking up with nightmares even now after all these years, then you get an idea of the seriousness of the whole thing. Because conceptually, you know, it's bad, but you know, when you see it on screen, when you see it enacted, it's a whole new level. The problem with the film, though, is that apart from this issue, nothing else works. The characters are badly written, the courtroom exchanges aren't interesting enough. See, the point is that you take an issue and you have to weave an interesting screenplay around it, and that doesn't happen. Like, there is no reason Pandya should be in this movie. There is no reason for Vinodini Vaidyanathan to be in the movie. The others props, nothing is written around them. And Tyagarajan appears as a bad man right away. And this is not a spoiler because right from the very first scene, we know that he is a bad man. He touches a laborer and then immediately he washes his hands. The other thing that did not quite work for me is that the tone of the film, which should be dark and brooding, is often made into a kind of a cutesy thing. There are these father-daughter scenes. Bhagyaraj plays Jyotika's father, and even in the flashback, there are these cute scenes which kind of belong in a different movie. Now, the most important thing in a thriller, whether it's a courtroom kind of drama or whether it's an investigative thriller, is mood and atmosphere. That is the single most important thing. If you look at Rachasan, for instance, you will understand this. I mean, the mood was maintained so brilliantly. You should be at the edge of your seat. Whereas here, you're listening to all these speeches, all these well-intentioned things, but as a film, nothing really coheres. Some twists are kind of interesting, though the one big interval twist I thought could have been worked out better had the flashback not alerted us earlier to what that twist is. I mean, I'll leave that for you to discover. But I hope that, you know, with the advent of OTT, some things at least change. Now, this film is what it is. It's an extreme audience pleaser. It wants to include all the family audiences, and you feel that it is what it is because it was intended as a theatrical release. So they want to say, okay, I don't want to make it too dark. I don't want to make it, you know, I want to make it family friendly. I want cute scenes with little girls, all those kinds of things. But you know, in future, when people find OTT ready projects, I hope that they realize that this kind of audience pandering is not necessary. Or will they just say that, you know, this is what worked on screen and this is what people like to watch here too, and will there not be an actual change? Because one thing that I keep hearing about OTT is that how a lot of us are watching shows from abroad and how uncompromised they are and how brilliant they are. But then when it comes to local stuff, are we going to say, you know, I get all that edgy stuff from there. Why do I need edgy stuff from here? I just want this comforting stuff that I'm used to. Is that what it's going to be? I think that is the most interesting question raised by Ponmagal Vandhal. So that's it for now. You'll find the full review of Ponmagal Vandhal on the Film Companion website. See you soon at the movies, I hope. Otherwise, see you soon over an OTT platform review.